Hello, my wonderful, lovely, bookish friends, bookish people. I'm Addie, and you are now watching Books and Tea Time, and I am so excited. Oh my god, I'm so excited, so happy, so energized. Welcome to February. Welcome to the month of love and the month of loving books by Black authors with Black characters, celebrating Black voices, Black creativity. It is blackathon, if you didn't know. And it's not officially like the challenge week yet. The challenges start tomorrow, February 7th, but I wanted to get a clip in, my intro clip for this vlog. We're going to be vlogging the entire week, doing the YouTube challenges and reading books. This is just my intro clip just to talk to you guys about our plans, our goals, and ambitions for this next week, and just to get situated and get started. My tentative plans right now are to finish 2 books in this vlog and start a 3rd book, because I've already started 1. So I am, as of last night, I am like 43% of the way through No Gods, No Monsters by Cadwell Turnbull. I am loving it so far. I am so pleasantly confused. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about that book in my first update for that book later on. My e-reader's dead, so I can't show you the cover, but it's stunning, so I'll have a picture up here. So yeah, this is my first book for blackathon. It is going to satisfy the read a book between like 312 and 387 pages prompt, because the physical book is exactly 387 pages. I was originally planning on reading the physical book, but then someone requested it from my library, and like I had it out from the library and someone else has a hold on it, and it felt like mean to keep it, because like I want someone else to be able to read that and enjoy it this February, this blackathon and this Black History Month. And so it felt like mean for me to hold on to it, because I have had it out from the library for a while. So I ended up buying the ebook from like the Kobo store to support Cadwell Turnbull, because I loved his first book that I read and I really enjoy his writing. So in this video I want to finish that book, which is definitely doable. I'm already 43% of the way through and I just started last night. Like, the chapters are so short, the writing is so interesting. We've got like 3 or 4 storylines that are coming together, and there's so much going on, but it's all so interesting. So like every chapter you're like, what the heck? And like there's like these little stories that are kind of told with each chapter, and they're broken into sections. It's so good so far. I'm going to read a little bit more and then try and articulate the plot for you in a more like succinct way that makes sense. But right now I'm just like along for the ride. Then after I finish the ebook for No Gods, No Monsters, I am immediately going to jump into Son of the Storm by Sunyi Davies Okungbawa. I love this book. God, I'm just like staring at the cover, this beautiful Black boy on the cover, and I've just heard incredible things about it, and I can't wait. So this is definitely, I want to say this is the longest book on my TBR, so I think like starting it in this video and having like the vlog helped motivate me to read like quickly, but also like engage with it. I'm going to be annotating this, and I don't know, I'm just so excited. It sounds incredible. Jessie loved it, and I showed it to my best friend on FaceTime yesterday, and she was like, oh my god, I've heard such good things about that one. Plan right now is for me to read the entirety of Son of the Storm and finish No Gods, No Monsters. Those are the goals that I'm setting right now. Like, I really want to finish both of these books by the end of this video, because then we'll be like approximately halfway through the month, and I'll be halfway through my TBR for like my team with the 4 books that I have to read. And then I'm waiting on the ebook for Pet by Kweke Emezi, and also the ebook for the group book Escaping Exodus. So I guess we'll just see how I feel. If I finish both of these by the end of this video, we'll see which one I want to pick up next. Today's Sunday, I have tomorrow off, so we're starting this on a good note, because I have the day off, so I can focus on like getting myself situated, because after I have the day off tomorrow, I then work for 10 days in a row between my 2 jobs. So it is going to be a challenge, but that's what this is. It's a reading challenge. It's a fun time, you know. We're gonna do our best. We're gonna do the challenges, we're gonna read the books, we're gonna engage together on this vlog, And don't forget to follow me on my Instagram so you can see all the Instagram challenges that I do. I'm also going to have all the blackathon hosts for Instagram and YouTube in the description box. Make sure you follow them on Instagram and or on YouTube. Give them a shout out, go to their reading sprints, follow Jesse's Instagram, and if you have Twitter, there's a blackathon Twitter page for all the information, all the details, all the time sensitive stuff like Netflix parties and reading sprints, stuff like that. So yeah, so excited. Peace out. Talk to you soon. Hello friends, it's time for my first check-in, and it is officially day 1 of the blackathon challenges. So the challenge for day 1 for YouTube is to read 100 pages, which is perfect because I have the day off. So I am going to actually try and finish No Gods, No Monsters today. Sorry, Milo is standing on the back of the couch, which he's not supposed to do. Get down. So I'm actually going to try and finish No Gods, No Monsters today, and that will get me well over my page goal. But I started reading, I read a little bit last night actually, and it was after midnight, so I'm going to count those pages. So I'm like 30 pages into my 100 page goal for the day. I have to get to chapter 53 to hit 100 pages, but as I said, I am going to try and finish it. But I also wanted to try and attempt to explain this book, right? No Gods, No Monsters by Cadwell Turnbull. Let's see if I can show you the thingy. Bear with me, this might be rough, but No Gods, No Monsters. So this is like a fantasy sci-fi story, and it's essentially about this like event that sparks the process of monsters and gods coming to like coming forward in the public eye and admitting or like making their existence known to the entire world. We're following basically 3 plot lines. The event that like kickstarts this whole gods and monsters coming into like the public eye is that one of our main characters, Lena, her brother is shot by police, and she hasn't seen him in a very long time. She hasn't spoke to him in a while, and so originally she and this woman who ends up coming forward to her and saying that she was friends with her brother, they are interested in seeking justice. Then Lena gets a video of like the body cam that the cop was wearing when her brother was shot, and her brother is a werewolf. So he is in like werewolf form when he's shot, and then the police officer freaks out because once he's dead he turns back into a human, and he's like, oh my god, like what's going on? And like there are witnesses that are like freaking out, and Lena gets a copy of this tape and leaks it like to the public eye. And so there's a short brief window of time where like the whole world is watching this, and then a bunch of other werewolves kind of like show up and protest, and they just like turn in the middle of this highway in front of a bunch of people, and like there's video of that. So there's this brief window before the government like cuts the video clips and edits it out and like shuts it down. There's that brief window of time where like everybody is like, oh my god, like the whole world is kind of just in this like epic like WTF moment. There's a lot of conspiracies and secret societies are like part of one of the plot lines. So there's like a lot of like really like confusing but also like so dark and twisted like dystopian-esque like conspiracies, but like it's so, the way that Cadwell Turnbull writes it is that like this could happen, like it's so real and it's so freaky for that reason. So that's like not even the main plot, like that's just like what kicks things off. But one of the things that I really like am interested in and I love about the book so far and about Cadwell Turnbull's writing is that like we have a couple main characters who either are monsters or who know monsters and are working with them to like offer them some kind of like protection and solidarity. Specifically in our one storyline, we have a character who is a monster, or like I think they identify as like a mage, is what they call themselves, a tech mage or something like that. So like you've got like witches, mages, people who can practice magic, then you've got like werewolves, and there's this little boy. I have no idea what he is. He calls himself dragon because he can breathe fire. I don't think he's actually a dragon, but like maybe he is. Maybe he's gonna transform and grow wings. I don't know. People with abilities, people who can do things that are like deemed by society abnormal or like threatening or dangerous, like they're monsters. That's why I'm using air quotes, because like depending on how you read it, monsters is a very like ambivalent and like fascinating term. Oh my god, Cadwell Turnbull's a freaking genius. Like, I'm really not doing this book justice, guys. Like, I can't tell you how good it is so far. But anyway, so one of our main characters, or one of the monsters that we know, their name is, I think it's pronounced Melku, M-E-L-K-U, and they are a non-binary character, and also kind of calling attention to the fact that, like, a lot of the monsters that are already in marginalized communities, whether they're marginalized by like their race, their gender identity, their sexuality, etc., they need protection because of their like intersectionalities, and then introducing this like monster intersection on top of that puts them at like super high risk for violence and for like being targeted by like, you know, hysteria and like mass media and like the government, things like that. So Melku kind of reaches out to their like cooperative, or like this group of people that they meet with, and kind of asks like, would you guys be willing to help us, to protect us, because like we are not here to threaten society. We've been here for thousands and thousands of years, and only a select few people have known about us, and we're not like here to ruin and like take over the world and like kill everybody, but people are going to like turn on us and kill us. So it's very, very weird and unique. We have a couple monster perspectives that we follow, and then a couple people who know or are working with them. Did any of that make sense? Probably not, but I tried. So I love it. It's so good. It's so well written. It's so interesting. It's so unique. And I can't wait to read the rest of it. So I'm going to sit down right now and read my little butt off. I'm 53% of the way through right now. So I'm going to read some more, and then I'll update you all when I have finished my challenge and or when I have finished the book. And yeah, happy blackathon YouTube challenge day 1. I'm also going to take pictures for the Instagram challenge later today so that I can post for the first Instagram challenge. And that is that. Hello, loves. I look a little crazy, so here's a rundown of my afternoon since our last check-in. I read 100 pages, like well over 100 pages. I have like, I think 60 or 70 pages left in the book. Definitely gonna finish it today. Loving it so much. We'll get into that in a second, but now I'm about to eat some lunch. Got a turkey sandwich and some Doritos. Okay, I just discovered the sweet and spicy chili Doritos. Hold on, let me get them for you. I'm gonna get them and show them to you. Yes, I have plaid pajama pants on. It's my day off, let me live. Has anybody else ever had these Doritos? I just discovered them and they are incredible. So good. Sweet, spicy chili. My recommendation for the day. Anyway, I'm eating that. Some cheese and little like snack pack things. Anyway, that's not why you're here. You don't want to know what I'm eating, but I fell asleep for like an hour, took a nap. I didn't sleep well last night, so I kind of needed it, so I'm not like mad at myself. So I completed my first challenge. Yay. So happy, so excited. Loving the book so much. I could see, let me just say right now, how some people might not like the writing style, or like the way that is written with all of like these different plot lines and like jumping back and forth in time, and like this other component element just got introduced that like things get really confusing. But for me, I love it. Like, I love that it's a little bit chaotic, but like methodically chaotic. And I think that this is just like one of those books that like I'm not going to like fully comprehend it until after I've read it more than once. Like the first read through is just like raw experience of all these narratives and all of the elements and things that are going on, and then like upon rereading and like maybe if I get a physical copy and annotate it, things will start making sense, right? Like that's how my experience with Beloved by Toni Morrison was. I mean, honestly, that's how like some like more high fantasy books are for me. Like if I don't annotate and take it slow the first time through, I don't really remember anything. Like I read and annotate all the Stormlight Archives books by Brandon Sanderson for that same reason. Like I would only comprehend like 50% of what Brandon Sanderson writes if I didn't annotate and like keep track of things with like colored highlighter keys and stuff like that. So I'm down for this. I was ready for something like this, you know. I love it. And it's the first book in a series, so like even more so the fact that we have all these plot lines and that are just brushing up against each other and not really converging doesn't bother me. It intrigues me a lot. And I love like the sci-fi components mixed with the fantasy components. I'm gonna eat lunch and then read some more. Until then, peace out. What are you doing? Excuse my unmade bed, but what are you so excited about? Huh? What's up? I'm back and I have completed No Gods, No Monsters. It's day one of the challenge week and day one of this vlog, and I've already finished a book. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling productive. I really loved this entire reading experience. No Gods, No Monsters was the perfect book to kick off blackathon and just such a great read. Cadwell Turnbull really does it again, honestly. It's still like settling in for me, like the plot and the implications and the ending and some of the stuff that's going on with like the science behind things. It's definitely 100% worth a read. Let me tell you, it's so good. I'm very, very happy that I read it. I am gonna let myself like sit with it, and I'll probably eventually have to reread it, preferably in the physical. So yeah, I'm gonna settle with like a 4.5 stars for now, although I have a feeling that once I've let it sit and I've really gathered the book's like long-term effect, and like, because I read it really fast. I read it in like 2 days, so like I want to sit with it for a little bit. So I'll probably give you like my final more concrete rating in my winter wrap-up. So make sure you're subscribed so that you can see that, where I talk about all the books that I read over the winter months. That'll probably come in the middle or end of March, so stay tuned for that one. Really love No Gods, No Monsters. I was completely swept up in the writing, in the narrative. Like the writing is honestly incredible. I don't know how to like go back. So I have some like quotes that I annotated or that I highlighted on my ear. I'm gonna try and find some of my favorite ones. So yeah, I'm just gonna read like 2 or 3 quotes to kind of get across the like genius and brilliance that is this book. Like I feel like I'm not smart enough to comprehend this book on one read. So this quote is from the very, very beginning. Every moment is eternal. Every story carries a bit of the past with it, like a long poem with stanzas and breaks and refrains. The same is true across timelines too. If the world is born a billion times in parallel, all those iterations will spring up like a forest of the same wood, repeating themselves up into their leaves and across the whole forest of worlds. Okay, yeah, this is the other one that I wanted to share really quickly because it's just such a good quote for this book. Monsters existed in the liminal space of half-belief and practical superstition. Even folks who claimed not to believe in God knew not to tempt devils. Superstition provided a certain kind of freedom, allowed a certain kind of power. This book is genius. It's so good. Loved it so much. Yeah, I highly, highly recommend it. I also recommend The Lesson by Cadwell Turnbull, which is his debut novel. Definitely more heavy on the sci-fi. It's like a first contact alien, like human encounter kind of a story. Really, really good. But right now I'm going to make some tea and start Son of the Storm and dive right into a big, epic adult fantasy book. And I'll check in with you guys either later tonight or tomorrow, depending on how much I get read. But I just wanted to let you know, we finished our first book, and I posted my first Instagram challenge, so if you want to see those, they'll obviously, I'll be done by the time you're seeing this, but I'll have my Instagram linked down below. It's great talking to you. See you in a bit. Hello friends, it is Tuesday now, so I have to do my Tuesday challenge, and I probably should update you. It's like 11:30, so time is of the essence, okay? I did my Instagram challenge and it took way longer than I thought it would. Let me just say, taking pictures of yourself is difficult and time consuming, but I love how they turned out. I'm absolutely obsessed. I went a little overboard and extra, but I'm not sorry. I'm really excited and so happy and like giddy about how it turned out. But I did the Instagram challenge for day 2, which was to recreate a book cover, or like do an outfit recreation of a book cover by a Black author. And I recreated the covers for the Brown Sisters trilogy by Talia Hibbert. I did like an outfit inspired by each of the Brown Sisters outfits on the covers of the book. So one for Chloe Brown, one for Dani Brown, and one for Eve Brown. And there's just like, I don't know, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I thought they were kind of cute, and yeah, that's that. The YouTube challenge for day 2 is to talk about a favorite movie by a Black director and a favorite book by a Black author. So let's start with books, because obviously that's what y'all are here for, right? And I cannot go this whole blackathon without shouting out one of my absolute favorite authors of all time. I discovered this author in my very first blackathon, which was a queer blackathon that I participated in, and I discovered one of my favorite books of all time and an auto-buy author that I am absolutely obsessed with, and that is Rivers Solomon. I have all 3 of their books here. First of all, there's like such a wonderful blue color scheme with all 3 of their books that they have out right now, and I love it. I really do. So the first book that I read by them was The Deep. This is a very short but very powerful and wonderful book. It is about a like civilization of mermaids. They are the descendants of African women who died en route to America via the Middle Passage after they were taken from Africa and forced into chattel slavery. So the babies of the women who died that were pregnant kind of like evolve into mermaids, and then they become this like underwater civilization colony of mermaids, and it's about memory, history, and trauma, and also just about like personal growth and discovery and community, and it's so fascinating, absolutely genius, and literally every single page is perfection. I wouldn't want it any longer, any shorter. It is glorious, 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read An Unkindness of Ghosts, which is a more like sci-fi heavy story. A lot of River Solomon stuff is like a mix of sci-fi, fantasy, and like then like an additional something else. So this one has like a mystery component to it, but we're on this spaceship, and it's like a huge massive spaceship, and the ship is organized in terms of like class and social status as the antebellum South. So we've got a lot of things going on there. Our main character Aster is trying to follow this mystery and discover some stuff about her mother, who disappeared several years prior. It's kind of a critique on society, as well as being a really brilliant and insightful science fiction novel. Love it. And then finally, this came out in 2021. It is their most recent release, and it's Sorrowland. If I had to rank them, I would say The Deep is my favorite and Sorrowland is a very close second, although I still love An Unkindness of Ghosts. It's just like, this book is so good, and like the whole time I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I love every minute of it. But in this book we follow our main character Vern, and she at the beginning of the book has escaped from a cult that she grew up in, and she gives birth to twins in the woods. And it's about that present timeline and her reflecting on and thinking about her time in this cult situation, and like the complexities of the cult in relation to the outside world, and raising these babies and things that are going on with her. That's 3 books that I just talked about, but I love River Solomon, and now I'm just forced to wait for them to come out with their next book. And then a movie with a black lead. Sorry, I know that I said it was a black director, but it's actually that's another prompt for later in the week. But today we have to talk about one of our favorite books with a black lead. One of our favorite movies with a black lead, and I am gonna say Attack the Block. I don't know if this is like popular. I watched this for a film class that I took like 3 or 4 years ago now, and it like literally I've only seen it once, but it sticks with me. I think about it all the time when someone asks me like top like favorite movies. Like, it always sneaks in there because it's so good, and it's like a British alien invasion movie about this group of like teens that grow up in, I think, like South London. I think that's where they're from. But they like have to defend their neighborhood and their area from aliens. And the main character is John Boyega, who plays Finn in the new Star Wars movies, but he's like kind of a baby. He plays the role really, really well. It's funny, kind of spoofy, but also like gory and intense, and I really, really loved it. So I would love to watch that too, but that is directed by a white director. But it does have a black lead, black main character. So yeah, I wanted to give it a shout out because I feel like I've never heard anyone else ever talk about that, and I don't know if it's just because like I've never really like I'm not bringing it up all the time, or if it's like actually not popular, but like it should be popular because it's good. So yeah, that's that. Quick updates. I read like 20 pages of Son of the Storm last night before I got distracted. Honestly, I don't really have much to say so far. I'm just like digesting all of the world building that we're getting, because like obviously it's the start of a new fantasy series, a longer fantasy novel, an adult high fantasy novel. You know, it's gonna be a lot of like overload with the information, as can be expected when you're building a world from like the ground up. So just digesting all that information, getting a feel for things that are going on. I don't have to be at work until the afternoon tomorrow, so I'll probably update you before I go into work, but for now I have to go to bed. So good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Peace. What's up, y'all? It's day 3 of the blackathon challenge week situation. I have to leave for work here in like half an hour, but I wanted to come on and update you, give you the 411 for what's going on today. So when I get home from work, we are going to do the challenge for today, which is to watch a movie directed by a black director. So I have decided that for today I am going to rewatch Black Panther, because I'm like super behind with all the new Marvel shows, you know, like I haven't seen What If, and I need to watch Hawkeye. So I want to rewatch some of the movies to prep me for watching What If. So like I need to rewatch Black Panther, I need to watch Doctor Strange for the first time because I've never seen it. Oops. Probably Captain America, because like What If is like different episodes and it's like animated, and it's sort of a like spin-off of some of the main stories. Like What If T'Challa was Star-Lord instead of Black Panther. So I'm gonna start with Black Panther because it is directed by a Black director, and I love that movie. I think I saw it like 2 times in theaters. I'm just gonna watch it on Disney Plus tonight after work, and that'll be my like ticking the box for that. But I also have some other movies that I want to watch. Also found a list of movies directed by Black female directors, and I found this movie, I think it's called Little Woods was the title. And it's a movie about 2 sisters, I think they're sisters, 2 sisters, and like their mother dies and they need to get money really quickly to like keep their house basically because it's gonna foreclose if they don't. And so they have to do some like illegal things to get the money quickly enough, and it's kind of like them trying to get away with it without getting caught and then like getting out of it afterwards. So that movie looked really good. I watched the trailer and it seemed cool, and I think it won a bunch of awards, so I will eventually be watching that. I don't know when that's gonna happen. Yeah, that's my quick brief update. I'm gonna go eat something really quick, take this picture for Instagram, and then head off to work. Other than that, I hope you all are having a good day, a good week, and that you're enjoying blackathon if you're participating. Tell me what you're reading, what's going on, how are your plans, your goals, your reading things going. I did not read any more of Son of the Storm last night, and I'm probably not going to read more tonight because I'm going to be watching a movie, but maybe after the movie I'll read a little bit. I'll check in with you later. Peace out. Hey there, babes. It's me. We're in the car, and it's time for me to update you guys. It has been several days, unfortunately. So I haven't updated you since I think Tuesday, and it's like 5 days later. It's Sunday. I'm a mess, okay? This week quickly fell apart in my hands, my very grasp. I was so excited and optimistic and happy at the beginning of the week, and I still am. Like, I'm so looking forward to this vlog coming out and to all of the fun challenges and reading that I was going to be doing in this vlog, and I still am very excited for that, but I feel so bad and so guilty now because this week just kind of took a turn for the worse. I have not read a page. I haven't done any of my challenges. I'm behind on the Instagram challenges by like 2 days, and I do plan on catching up, right? Like, I still am going to do all of the challenges, but I got some difficult news this week, followed by some really sad news a few days later, and so I've just been spending time with my family and Alexander, my partner, and we've just been kind of, you know, vegging out together, just watching, like, trash TV and, like, just spending time in each other's company kind of thing, and I don't regret that. I just feel so bad because, like, I want this vlog to be interesting. So the plan right now, I think what I'm going to do is just extend this vlog by a couple days, and I'm still going to do all the challenges. They're just not going to be on the correct day that they were meant to be done on. But yeah, I just got off of work, and it's Super Bowl Sunday, so I'm going over Alexander's house, and we're just going to like hang out, watch the Super Bowl. I'm going to edit a video. I am going to try and get a little bit of reading in. I finally got the ebook for Pet by Kwege Emezi, so I think I'm going to start that, and that is going to satisfy one of the prompts for the science fiction fantasy team, so where you read books with trans spectrum representation. That's my update. Talk to you guys in a little bit. Peace out. Hello. Before we get into the update, yes, I have stuff on my face, trying to handle some spot concealing acne situation. So I have a couple updates. first and foremost, the most important thing is that I finished another book. So that's 2 books down, and I am a third of the way through the 3rd book on my TBR for the SFF team for blackathon. Bless, we are over the hump, over the halfway point of this TBR, and it's just about halfway through the month. Today is the 16th, so I'm feeling pretty good, pretty confident moving forward. Let's talk about Pet by Akwaeke Emezi. It was so good. I literally read it in I think like 24 hours. Like, it was amazing. I was immediately gripped. It's like such a suspenseful storyline and an intriguing world and idea, so I was really like pleased by it, but like not at all surprised either. Like, I knew Akwaeke Emezi was amazing, and this is my first book by them that I've ever read, so I am just ready to dive into the next book. The prequel to Pet Bitter came out yesterday, and so I'm waiting to figure out like how I'm gonna read it, if I'm gonna be able to get my hands on like an ebook, or if I want to do the physical book or audio. Like, we'll figure that out together. But I also have Freshwater. I have a copy of that one. Like, I own a copy of Freshwater, which was their debut novel, and their debut romance is coming out later this year. We might have a vlog coming up soon where I read the rest of Emezi's backlist in preparation for reading Bitter and You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty, which is the title of the romance. But anyway, let's talk about Pet, because it's so good. I think this is like a YA, although sometimes when I see it, it's classified as middle grade, but it's in that realm. We have our main character, Jam, and she is a 14-year-old trans girl, and she lives in this town called Lucille. So the town of Lucille is kind of a utopia of sorts, and Jam and her generation are like the first generation to be born into this utopian version of Lucille, and like their parents and all the previous generations have just recently, as of like a decade or so ago, built their society, or like rebuilt their society essentially from like the ground up, it seems, because there was this massive revolution where revolutionaries, or as they are called, angels. I mean, it's really not super clear what Emezi means by angels. Like, I think it's purposefully left to be ambiguous whether or not they are like angels in the biblical sense, or if they are like just like referred to as angels because of what they have done for their society. But essentially all monsters have been eradicated, whether or not it's like a monster on like the one-on-one scale, like someone who physically abuses someone else, or if it's on a larger scale, like a monster who runs like a corrupt capitalist corporation. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a very loose definition of monster, but they have all supposedly, according to the like government and leaders in Lucille, have been dealt with. They've been found, hunted, eradicated, and so they live in this utopia, right? The whole plot of the book is that Jam's mother, Bitter, is a painter, and she makes this painting of a creature that Jam thinks is a monster because it looks very frightening. And that's where like the question of visibility is really beautifully done in Emezi's book. It's like this whole idea of monsters can be anyone. They can look like any person, like anything. They can hide and disguise themselves, and that is why it's so dangerous to say that monsters are gone, even if they perhaps were gone for a while, because like they can so easily slip back in and start hurting people. Then on the other hand, you have certain creatures that look like monsters that maybe are not monsters. So like the question of monster versus angel, and like the duality of that kind of representation, and the question of visibility and invisibility, it's so well done. I'm not even doing it justice by the way that I'm saying it right now. Like, this book is amazing. But anyway, so Bitter makes this painting, and when she's done, Jam sneaks into the studio and accidentally cuts herself and bleeds on the painting and brings the creature in the painting to life. Jam calls the creature Pet. So that's like the creature's name in this world, and Pet goes up and tells her that it is here to hunt a monster in Lucille. And Jam's parents kind of panic and they say, no, that's not true, there are no monsters, send this creature back, like that's not gonna happen. But Pet informs Jam that the monster is hidden in the house of her best friend Redemption. Very, very emotional. Definitely trigger warnings for child abuse. I loved Jam as a character and her fierce loyalty to her best friend, and their friendship was so wonderful. Like, even when they're fighting, they're still like, I will always be here for you, like, no matter what. I know that you're mad at me, I know that I made a mistake, but like, I am always on your side. Also, even though it's not a main part of the plot, it's really cool reading about Jam and her transition as someone who transitioned in adolescence, or like right before adolescence, and her experience with surgery, and like hearing the side comments that she makes about like how the weather affects her estrogen implant, like the things that as a cis woman I have never thought of or had to experience, but like it's so wonderful to see that representation. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. Unsurprisingly, I knew that I was gonna love a mezzi because literally I've never heard a poor word spoken in regard to a mezzi. Like, I've never heard anybody say anything but positive things about anything that a mezzi has written. Anyway, I started, after I finished Pet yesterday, I started Escaping Exodus, which is the group book for Team Science Fiction Fantasy, and I read like 100 pages, and it's only 300, so I'm like a good chunk of the way into this book, and let me tell you, I am hooked. So this is a science fiction story where the civilization, the group of people that we are following, live inside these massive like creatures that are like native to space, and they just like float around space. And the like group of people that we're following, they infiltrate the bodies and then like turn the bodies into a giant spaceship that these people can live in. And like they do this in cycles because like the beast is slowly dying while they're like leeching off of its resources, and then like they go into stasis, and like the lower class stays and starts remodeling the second ship while like the upper classes sleep in like their cryogenic space sleep or whatever. I don't even know what it's called, but like the higher classes will sleep and then they'll wake up and it'll be like one day has passed and they have the same ship essentially as they did before, but like a year or something has passed for the like lower classes who are working on the ship, you know what I mean? So I mean, the caste system is so interesting. The political and like cultural systems are really interesting. Like, there's so many details that are just so cool and really interesting, on top of the fact that just the premise is genius. Like, one of our main characters literally works on the heart of the beast and making sure the heart is still pumping resources to the rest of the body, but like manipulating it, and also like making sure it doesn't get any like diseases. Like, they have to like cut the tumors out so that they can keep the thing alive. Like, what? But we're following Seska and Adala, and so they have been friends their whole lives, but they're also like coming into their young adulthood, and they're kind of like, they're basically realizing that they have feelings for each other, right? But Seska is literally the like heir to the throne of their entire civilization, and her best friend Adala is one of the like lower working classes, and she works in the heart. So she works on the heart of the beast in the ship, and it is thought that like she's essentially like royalty, that like she shouldn't be with someone of a lower class, but like she really loves her, so like it's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet situation maybe, or like, you know, star-crossed lovers vibes, but make it sapphic, and I just love every second of it so far. I'm probably gonna end this vlog tomorrow, so I'm gonna try and do my best to get a few more of the challenges done. I took the Black Media quiz off camera. It was only 5 questions, and I got 2 out of 5, so not great, but I did learn that Phyllis Wheatley was the first African-American person to publish a work of poetry, so that was really cool, and definitely going to make an effort to read some of her poetry in the near future. And I also learned that Stevie Wonder was the first Black artist to win a a Grammy for, I think it was Album of the Year. It's still fun to learn, you know, it's a learning experience. That's what quizzes are for. But I'm gonna go to bed now. Good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Peace. Hello friends, it is time for me to wrap up this video because you have voted. Well, at least 2 people have voted. I did a poll on my Instagram and the votes for having 2 shorter blackathon vlogs versus 1 larger vlog won. So we're gonna do 2 videos and this is gonna be the first installment, which I think works out for the best because this way I can do a second video where I focus on the 2 other books on my TBR, and like this video we finished the first 2 and then we'll be able to focus more on Son of the Storm because I feel like I didn't get nearly as much of that read as I wanted to. I still have only read like 16 pages. I'm on like chapter 3, and this will give me a chance to complete the rest of the challenges even though they're not going to be like done on the days that they were originally intended. I still want to do all the challenges, so we're going to watch a movie, we're going to listen to the spoken word poems, we're going to draw a book cover from memory. And I do want to also look for some Black-owned bookish merchandise businesses, and we're going to make some orders together online. So if you want to see all that kind of stuff, make sure you're subscribed and come back for part 2 of the video, which should be up very soon after this first one. I'm hoping to get this one up by Monday, and today's Friday. So maybe next Friday. I hope you enjoyed this first installment of the Blackathon vlogs for 2022. Let me know how your TBR is going. What team are you on? What are you reading? Are you liking the book? Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. It means the world to me. I love you all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if that's your jam, and I hope to see you in my next video. Happy reading, happy writing, and happy living. Peace out.